Alright, everybody, we are here. It is time for WCW Presents Spring Stampede live in the SunTrust Park Arena in Atlanta, Georgia. Beautiful Georgia. So, how you doing?
Atlanta, Georgia, home of the Braves.
Home of the Braves. How you doing there, Mr. Chris Mullins Jr.?
I'm doing great. Atlanta, Georgia is like it eats, sleeps, and breathes the embodiment of WCW. I'm so glad to be here.
I know. So we're starting off the pre-show here tonight with our boys, Al Jones, Vincent, David Arquette, and Leo Rush, and even Orange Cassidy mentioned off screen. So what's going on here?
So here they're talking about the fact that over the next couple weeks, they're going all full force with the Al Jones experience. They are heading to Hollywood over the next 2 weeks. And Leo, unfortunately, will not be joining them. But they got Leo a great gift for staying here and holding down the fort while they're gone. Vincent's like, I booked you in a premiere match tonight. They're like, whoa, on the pay-per-view, I'm a top bill match. He's like, yeah, I got you a top bill match tonight on the pre-show.
Oh, on the pre-show, he's not only that, he's main eventing. He's main eventing the pre-show. Man, put that on a t-shirt. I main evented the pre-show. Following that, young talent Jordan Clearwater taking on TJP tonight here. Actually, pretty good performance here, and he's getting better at his gimmick. Exactly what we need for Jordan Clearwater. Wasn't he called like you sent me an image before of him like the Golden Boy, right? Or is that someone else?
Golden Boy. He is the Golden Boy.
The Golden Boy. Beat him with a jumping neck breaker. That's violent. Then your boy Bear Bronson tapping out Davey Boy Smith Jr. to, I guess, a bear hug, right? It's got to be it. Come on.
Yeah, it's got to be the bear hug.
Dude, his name is Bear Bronson. So, and then it's time for the main event of the pre-show, of course. Come on, guys. Eddie Edwards tapping out Leo Rush with the Achilles lock. They have phenomenal chemistry. You got an 84 rating, 90 in-ring performance by Eddie, 79 with Leo. It was a beautiful match. But it's time to get on to the real deal, the main show here. We got War Beast out there ready to defend their belts, and they're like, where's our challenge at? And then out comes OVE, and they're ready to fight, and then Cash gets on the mic. He's like, wait, I told you that I would fight on behalf of Casey McKnight, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. And then, you know, it hits their theme song, which I can't really replicate. It's probably something like Southern, you know, a little bing, I don't know. Something's going on, a little Confederate anthem or something. And then Casey McKnight comes out. He was like, hey. He's like, I'm fresh off the hospital bed, and I'm ready to fight. And that's when we have our opening main event match, where FTR actually is able to defeat War Beast and OVE here tonight and get the WCW Tag Team titles, bringing it home to Pride of the South. Pretty good there. Everybody doing really good in their gimmicks and chemistry working together. So, loving it out of that. New Tag Team Champions. And then we got Carlito. He's in the cabana. He's chilling with Orlando and Eddie. And he's like, guys, I would like to welcome you, our travel agent.
In training.
I was gonna say like a mentorship program, you know, kind of like that. He's what's the word I'm looking for? It's on the tip of my tongue.
Well, let's move on.
He's like an intern basically for them.
Yeah.
And then that's when NWO Exotic comes across and they're throwing over the cabana stuff and knocking it over. They're spray painting it, causing a ruckus, and a brawl ensues between the two factions right there. However, NWO Exotic, of course, they're able to get the best of them with Scott Norton pinning Orlando Colon with a power bomb after this impromptu match between the two. Following that, Matt Marquis and Simon Grimm actually have a double count-out draw here tonight, knocking each other out. Pretty great match. And what happens after the match here, Chris?
After the match, they're both, unfortunately, having to lick their wounds as they're sitting there. They both sit up and are looking at each other. Matt Marquis looks deep at Simon Grimm and says, "You finally get it. You followed all the rules."
He did it.
And with that, they embrace as Grimmeth Marks has officially reunited, and it feels so good.
And I feel so good. So good. After that, Johnny Ace comes out. He's on the scooter machine. Cass XL with him, of course, as always. He's got the belt on top of that scooter. It's hanging there. I feel like for some reason, the television title, the TV in it, it's like a little stupid spinner belt now. I don't know why Cass XL would have it, because of like working with Enzo before. He'd have like the whole kind of rap spinner thing going on. A spinning TV title just seems like the most goofiest concept, but I feel like they would have it on that scooter.
that are just spinning.
It could be worse. It could be TV, but backwards, I guess, right? And Johnny Ace, it says, Cass, I got a match for you tonight, but it's not an open call out. It's not an open challenge. I am demanding Rick Steiner comes out here because I need vengeance for what happened 35 and a half years ago in the locker room. Rick Steiner played an awful, awful, awful prank on me. He took his dog's crap and he put it all over my skateboard. And that skateboard is right here. And he opens up a bag in front of the scooter. And he pulls it out. He says, look at it. It's never been the same ever again. I've carried this with me for 35 and a half years because I couldn't get in the ring with you, Rick. I'm immobilized on this scooter. But Cass is going to take care of you tonight. And that's when Cass takes care of the 35 and a half year feud between Johnny Ace and Rick Steiner, beating him with the East River Crossing, making this defense number 4. After that, we have our big match between Royce Isaac and Tino Sabatelli, but Royce Isaac actually able to get a quick flash pinfall with a quick cradle on Tino Sabatelli. What happens after the match, though, following the loss of Tino, shockingly?
The loss of Tino really sent ripples throughout the entire Forever franchise locker room, as Shane Douglas is looking in disgust at Tino, that Tino would fall for such a rookie move, getting the flash pinfall. And with that, he extends his hands to Royce Isaac and takes his hand as they both exit the ring, leaving Summer Rae and Tino.
Oh. After that, Brian Pillman Jr. able to defeat Buff Bagwell with the Tornado DDT, doing this match for Kylie Rae, if I may remind you. And after that match, what occurs here? What do you think?
After the match, you got Brian Pillman gets on the mic, and he calls Kylie Rae into the ring, who had been accompanying him at ringside. He calls Kylie Rae into the ring and says, I know everything you've been through, unfortunately, over the last month, and none of it is right, but it's time to make things right. I have people backstage ready to take you and get you the help that you need, and you're going to be able to go get the help that you need. And I want to thank you for showing me that I could, the kind of person that I could be in life.
Oh, I like to think that like medical professionals come up and just like she willingly gets a straight jacket on and they just like carry her out. I like that. I don't know why.
Willingly, gets into it and then they carry her out.
She's still smiling.
Then he looks over. Then he looks over at Buff and says, "As for you, there's only one place evil, slimy, cockroach people like you belong, and that's in prison. So I made a few calls, and it seems that you are not a rookie at the kind of moves you've been trying to pull on Kylie Rae. And there's actually many warrants out, and so I made a few calls, and I brought a buddy of mine in here to haul your ass off to jail." With that, Bruno Milani comes down with the cuffs. Buff tries to run, but just gets a complete forearm from Brian Pillman that completely knocks him on his keister. As Bruno Milani slaps on the handcuffs and begins to drag Buff up the ramp into the patrol car.
He's out of here. Then a big match for the WCW World Light Heavyweight title here tonight. Jordan Oliver actually able to defeat Humberto Garza and retrieve the belt in their ladder match. Pretty good.
And he did it without the help of
YDF and B.
YDFB.
dude. Big win there for our boy Jordan Oliver. But what's going on with the flock? You got some secrets here, you said.
With the flock, Raven continues to talk about darker presence among us. He says things are not always as they seem, and things are sometimes more powerful than you could ever imagine. And with that, you got Mike Bennett, who's like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "None of that really matters, Michael." He calls him Michael, and he pats him on the head. He's like, "Tonight, Rosemary, go out there and get that title and bring it home, because I have other things planned for the very near future for the rest of us."
Oh. Following that, Rosemary goes on, has her match, but is unable to get the title though, as Sarah Conti actually the one able to take the pin here, with Tennille Dashwood hitting the roaring elbow, able to defend her WCW Women's title successfully here.
An 85 from Rosemary in ring.
Pretty great for the women there, the 80. After that, Jeff Cobb here in the cage with Alberto. Alberto nowheres to escape, as Jeff Cobb is able to hit Alberto with the Tour of the Islands for the win here. But then it's our main event as Ethan Carter III and Joe Hennig clash for the WCW World title. And the sweet meat scissors, all she wrote, when EC3 was able to dethrone Joe Hennig. Following the match, he's just holding the world title up as Joe Hennig is just walking back up the stage ramp, and everyone's looking shocked at what happened. He's just shaking his head, unsure what happened to.
Trouble.
New WCW champion.
The whole crowd came with.
All right, 82 plus 29 regions. Who's getting hugs tonight? I think honestly, Rosemary did pretty good. Joe Hennig.
Joe Hennig. He had a nice title reign.
He was great. We got who else?
Probably Humberto
Garza. Make speed. There you go. Hug. There you go. There we go. Well, that's actually going to do it for this video, everybody. And we'll see you all next time on the aftermath of Spring Stampede. Peace.